Well, welcome, friends, to the Kogo Podcast. My name is R.W. Moody. I am the Associate State Pastor here with Kogo Ministries, and you are listening and watching the Kogo Podcast. And so don't forget, the purpose of this podcast is to move leaders in Ohio to be challenged through bite-sized conversations about ministry, leadership, and growth. And so we hope in these few moments together today that you will lean into your God call and you'll be challenged to do something different right there in your context of ministry as you go about leading your congregation today. And so we are super excited today to have with us Seth Brisker. Say hello, Seth.
Hello. Good to be here.
Yeah, so glad to have you with us from the southern portion of this great state of Ohio.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of listeners, Seth, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you live, and most importantly, how you came to know Jesus.
Yeah. So my name is Seth Brisker. I am in Athens, Ohio. We actually live in Albany, right outside of Athens. Not to be confused with New Albany. It's a much different place than New Albany. We are in Albany, a little tiny village outside of Athens. Athens, of course, is home to Ohio University and home to the Athens First Church of God, which is now known as Common House. We did a restart, replant about 3 years ago. Actually, exactly 3 years ago, last month. So it's been exciting. It's been an awesome just work of the Lord. I grew up in a Christian home, going to church, going to Sunday school, came to know Christ personally, gave my life to Jesus in middle school at a youth conference. I think it was called Acquire the Fire. You remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Big thing in Columbus. We would go up there, and so I remember it was just much different than my home church. I grew up in a very traditional United Methodist church, so pastor on the robe and stole, pipe organ, the whole deal, stained glass windows. So we went to this event, and it's a much different event because it's focused on youth, and as really the music just kind of pumping through your veins. It was so loud. But I remember this point in time during the event, there's a speaker and an altar call, and everybody's standing up. We're in this big, I think we're in the Schottenstein Center, big room, lots of people, and the speaker just asking if you want to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, get with your youth leader or come forward or do something right now in this moment to respond. And I remember thinking, I'm good. And then suddenly I'm down in my chair. My two youth pastors are gathered around me. And I'm, I kind of have this blackout moment where I'm like, I already know Jesus. And so my youth leader at the time, she was just walking me through that salvation moment, recognizing that I knew about Jesus. I knew about God. It's that moment where I knew Jesus for the first time was right then.
Yeah.
Which immediately set me into a acknowledgement of a call to ministry that has just been on my life from that moment. I ran hard and fast from it. I tried to do everything other than pursue that call to ministry by the time I was graduating college. And so ran to Wright State University for a little while, pursuing a music education, vocal performance degree. And the Lord just kind of let me know, you can do this, but you're going to be miserable. You can follow your own track, but it's not going to be fun. And so finally surrendered that over. Well, kind of surrendered that over. I said, okay, fine. I'll go to a Christian university. I'm still pursuing what I want to pursue, but I'll go to a Christian university. So ended up back home in Circleville. I'm originally from Circleville, at Ohio Christian University. And again, initially pursuing my own thing until we got to fall revival at school, and just found myself again at an altar, kind of a blackout moment. How did I get here? And just praying this moment of surrender, just surrendering my life to the call of Christ. And I remember in that moment at the altar, my first semester at OCU, I was at the altar kind of all by myself. There's a group kind of over on the other side, so I went over to be alone. I'm a natural introvert, so I didn't want anybody around me, so it's between me and the Lord. And I felt this hand on my back. And so I assumed someone's up there praying for me. They'd call up the professors and things to come pray. So I felt this hand on my back, but it's just right in the center of my back, and it's just burning hot, like on my back. And I kind of even like remember shifting, like trying to like cue the person, like loosen up a little bit,
Yeah.
uncomfortable with this burning hot hand on my back. But I'm just praying, and I'm just surrendering my life to the call of Christ and to the call of ministry, and acknowledging that this is the moment where everything changes. All of my plans are just gone on the altar, and just receiving the plans of the Lord and this hand on my back. And so the speaker kind of concludes that prayer time, and I say amen, and I immediately look around to see who's praying for me, to just thank them and connect with them. And there is no one even close to me. I mean, not anyone walking away, not anyone slipping off to the side, no one even remotely close to me. And so I knew right then, and I have reflected on that moment when things get hard in ministry, as they often do. The hand of the Lord was on me when I accepted this call, and I've known the hand of the Lord's been on me ever since. And so through all of the ebbs and flows of ministry, just have that hand of God, sometimes forcefully pushing me forward. But yes, it's been a journey. It's been the ups and downs of ministry are unlike anything else. That I wouldn't trade for anything. So
Acquire the Fire event all the way to basically almost acquiring the fire again for ministry purposes.
That's right. Absolutely. Full circle moment.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love what you had to say, Steph, about the whole idea. I knew about God, but I didn't really know God. I think there's a lot of people in our churches who have been there so long that they know about, but they don't really know. People can know about you, they can know about me, but until they get personal with either one of us, they don't really know the true RW, the true Seth, and very much when it comes to knowing Jesus. But
absolutely.
So Common House, been there, great little congregation, great little place to worship. Really enjoyed my time there.
Yes. What's
that?
We loved having you.
That was great. One of the things I really appreciate about you guys is your use of social media. I'm not the biggest social media person, but like your guys' creativity on social media is fun to watch. So like if somebody were listening to us today and we're like, I wonder what social media platforms they use, what is it that Common House uses, and why do you utilize those particular platforms?
Yeah. So we are on, as it stands currently, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I don't know if YouTube even counts as social media, but we're on YouTube. I guess they have Reels, so I don't know if that qualifies. But I mean, quite honestly, the reason we're on those three is because those are just the three that I know and use. So, I've had this moment the last several years. I just turned 35 in April. So I am, millennial, standard millennial. And I've been recognizing in the last few years that I went from when I first joined staff at my home church, which was, the very traditional United Methodist Church. I was the contemporary worship leader. We had a contemporary service and the youth director at it for a time. And I was also the social media technology person. And I really was only that by default because I was a millennial. And at the time, 24, 25, 26 years old, I knew everything there was to know about technology, especially in comparison to all of the seasoned people on the staff. And so I'm realizing now that I am I'm entering into the seasoned portion of the staff, especially in our constantly changing, constantly evolving, rapidly evolving age and era of social media. And so we're on Facebook and Instagram because truly I don't know any of the other ones that are out there. And I'm having this like kind of midlife crisis moment when I hear our young adults talk about other social media platforms. And I'm like, what is that? Like, what in the world like I'm still like hoping MySpace comes back so I can have my, top 10 people and my theme song that pops up when you click on my page. And here we are, like, we're moving forward. So I'll just be honest, we're on those solely because I have not caught up with the others yet. So
Gotcha.
that's where
Well, I
we
mean,
are.
it produces good fruit. I mean, it really does what you use. I don't think going back to MySpace would be a good idea, man. I mean,
I know.
people who
Oh
have like
no.
people who have gray in their hair would understand the MySpace a little bit more. Some of the younger ones, maybe not.
Absolutely.
But again, you guys use social media for really cool purposes. I've seen some awesome videos. Um,
Yeah.
you do a lot of like memes that you put out there for different things, which surely that's got to do something to either grasp attention or even make people aware. So how has social media been a boost for you guys in your ministries at Common House?
Yeah, it has helped us. It has, as you said, been a boost for certain connections, certain ministry. There's been little things, and it's hard to kind of gauge social media sometimes because
Yeah.
we're so wrapped up in how many reactions did it get, how many likes did it get, how many comments did it get, how many shares. But I recognize frequently that there's actually people who are connected with our social media, both kind of locally, but also from like when I go to district things or state things or
Yeah.
camp meeting. There's people will make a comment to me and I'm like, how do you know that's going on? And it's like, oh, I saw on Facebook. And it's like, well, could you like and share that next time?
Yeah.
Again, get in the algorithm. But there's people who are following the story that God is writing at Common House that, I'm not even fully aware of. There's been experiences that I've had that, there's one person that comes to mind who started coming to our church kind of out of the blue, and she ended up giving her life to Jesus and ended up being baptized and had kind of faded away soon thereafter after her baptism. And one Sunday she shows up and I said, "Hey, it's so good to see you again. I've been praying for you." And I'd reach out to her every now and then, but text or whatever. But she said, "Yep, I got on my phone today and I saw the post on the Common House page. Here's your sign." And it was just someone holding up a sign that says, "Go to church." That was literally it. What was funny
Yeah.
though is like I had posted that like 2 Sundays prior to that particular Sunday. But I would say by way of the Lord and the Holy Spirit
Yeah.
using these means social media, it popped up in her feed. And so she literally came to church because she was like, I knew that was for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, it really actually was for you because that wasn't even posted this morning. That was posted 2 weeks ago. So the Lord definitely put that right in your feed. So we've just seen things like that. We've seen the ability to connect with people who may not possibly, probably wouldn't just show up at our church,
Right.
to be able to click into our live stream service. And honestly, like our live stream, there is nothing fancy about it. It's literally an iPad on a tripod. And I walk over usually while Kelsey's doing like the intro to the service. I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to click live. I walk over and just hit live. Like we don't have microphones run through the soundboard. We don't have a special software or anything. Like it's literally just Facebook Live. But what that does for us, we're not looking to produce some sort of, production of a worship experience for online. What we're doing is looking to show people this is who we are. This is all we're doing here. There's nothing strange happening. There's nothing, secret that you're not allowed to see happening. Like this is what's happened. This is what's happening when you come to Common House. And we actually have a family that we've now connected with who've been coming. They've got several kids who've been going to the church. And she told me their first Sunday here. She said, I've been watching online for 2 years and been going through cancer and cancer treatments. And I just haven't been able to get here, but like, this is my church already. And like her first Sunday, the first time I've ever met her, she's already telling me like, this is my church. You're my pastor. Like, that I'm part of this congregation and it's just been awesome. Like, wow, like there's there's so many arguments against, online streaming, live streaming your worship service. And I get that. I get, don't make it so painful that someone doesn't have to come to the building. They can just watch online. But I think the possibilities for people to be served through our worship gatherings by putting them online, to me, just far outweigh the possible negative parts of it. Because the reality is, to me, if you are truly showing the heart of what's happening when the church gathers, that's going to be, people are going to be hungry for that, and so they might watch for 2 years. Literally, this lady has watched online for 2 years, but that seed was planted, that plant was growing. It was, and so by the time she got into the building, she was ready to go. I mean, she's invested. So I think for us, we've seen the boost in just simply being the front door for people. We're not looking at social media as our end all be all. There are days that go by that it's like, oh, we haven't posted anything. It's not like this is all of our resources are tied up in social media, or that we're even expecting social media to be the main thing we do. But it has been a good front door for people, or even, a re-entry door for people. And it's like, oh yeah, Common House is still there. They're still going. They're still readily welcoming and available for me. And, just reminding people that there's a family here for them.
Yeah. I love what you said, Seth, about the seeds. It kind of takes the text where Paul's talking about some will be Paul, some will be Apollos, who will plant, who will water, in a different context, where you can almost use, as you said, social media as the planted seed, where then, you might come and water it through a Facebook worship, and then all of a sudden, here it is. I think sometimes we forget that those tools have been given to us for a reason that we use. So if I'm listening to you talk this morning or today, and I'm wondering, what are some simple steps that I could take to help my congregation utilize some of these platforms, what would you say it would be?
Yeah, I would say, for one, make sure you're on them. At the very least, to me, Facebook seems to be kind of the most universal among like millennials and above, but even younger, I feel like they're still kind of there. Younger, definitely Instagram. Like when I look at kind of the demographics of who's engaging in Facebook versus Instagram, it's definitely like the millennial, I'm 35. I think, I don't know what the millennial age cutoff is. I think I'm towards the end of it, maybe. So that's kind of Facebook, but then like younger than that's Instagram. But I would say definitely start with Facebook. To me, it's just easier to use. And just post. I mean, post what's happening in your church. But also don't look at it as just an advertisement for getting people in your door. Like, look at it as an opportunity to be an initial evangelism and discipleship effort for people. So literally the easiest thing to do, and the thing that I see most churches do, which I think is a great starting point, is literally every morning just post. Like, you can get on YouVersion Bible app, and it gives you a graphic of a verse of the day. Save that and just post it. Like, that's your simplest thing you can do. So at the very least, you are giving anyone who's engaged with your page a Bible verse to think about and to read that day. Like, that might be the only Bible verse they read daily. Otherwise, I would say utilize your social media to not just advertise. And I'll say I struggle myself with this. I'm, preaching to myself here as well. Don't just advertise, come to this thing, be at church on Sunday morning, be here, be there, but use it as an opportunity to just pour into the people who might follow your page. Use it as an opportunity to ask a question. Asking a question on Facebook's the best thing you can do, because the way the algorithms work is the more people that engage with it, specifically commenting on your posts, the more it's going to bump into people's feeds. And so simply asking a question, like last couple weeks ago, I just posted this graphic that said, God, thank you for, I had a blank line, and I just put fill in the blank. And, people just fill in the blank. What are you thankful for today? simple things. I see churches do like a this or that, and don't make everything like this ultra spiritual thing. Like literally like this or that. What do you like more? It's rainy and gloomy today. What's your go-to drink on a rainy, gloomy day? Coffee or tea? Like just get people engaging in your content, because what happens is when I comment on something, so like when I comment on the Kogo Facebook page, the more I comment, the more it's going to show me what Kogo Ministries is posting, right?
Right.
And so what you want to do is get people to comment on what we might say is, frivolous things, like who cares if people are drinking coffee or tea on a rainy day? That's not what we don't really care, right? But like what we're doing is trying to get people engaging in our content. That way it also shows you who's actually seeing your stuff, and who do I now have a direct line to send a message and say, hey, I see that you are in the area. You've connected on our page. We'd love to connect with you. We'd love to grab coffee. We'd love to see you at this event we're having. We're having a movie night on Friday. We'd love for you and your kids to be there. Like it gives you this opportunity of, these are the low-hanging fruits right here in the social media sphere in which I'm living, that I can extend a personal invitation to. So I would say ultimately the most simple response to that question is just do it. Like just get engaged with social media. Follow any church that you see. Follow them. I mean, every Church of God Facebook page that I come across, I follow it just to kind of see what they're doing. And it's funny because I have, I have people who often comment on our social medias. And really like, I just copy a lot of things that I had someone call me, a pastor friend call me last Sunday, and he said, hey, we had a salvation this morning. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And he said, yeah, we want to post it out on Facebook. And we really like your graphic that you post on Common House when you guys have a salvation. Is it all right if we steal it? And I was like, well, I stole it, so yes, please steal it. In the world of social media, plagiarism is just fine.
Absolutely.
Steal the stuff. Obviously, don't post like someone else's logo or something. Make it your own. But Canva is a online, like kind of, graphic designers would probably they probably hate the fact that we use Canva so much, but it is an easy, accessible. You can get a free account where most of the features are available. Get on there. There's literally templates so you can pull and type in your own information, upload your logo to it. There are ways that there are resources available to even people who it's like, I have no idea. If you got a smartphone, you can do it. You can ship stuff around. Otherwise, reach out to people, reach out to me, reach out to churches that you see doing social media in a way that you're like, man, that's what I'm looking for. Reach out. Like, I would love to help people engage in this, because I do think it's an important part of who we're presenting ourselves as a church to be. Again, not the end all be all. If social media vanished tomorrow, like obviously the mission of the church isn't going to vanish with it. But it's here. Obviously it's part of our culture. It's part of, my generation and below. Like, we don't exist outside of social media. Again, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, it just is what it is. So as the church, I feel like we need to invest in it, and invest in it well, to show people this is who we are. This is what we're about. And it's our most available billboard that we have to us. And it's completely free.
I think the word you used a couple of times, Seth, the word opportunity, like, I think that expresses it very well. And honestly, a couple other questions I was going to ask you, like, lean into that too. That opportunity gives you the opportunity to tell about Jesus. That opportunity gives you the opportunity to introduce Jesus. That opportunity gives you the opportunity to, like, I think that pathway, using social media as a tool for the pathway of discipleship. It's a lot into how we can utilize that for ways for people coming to know Jesus. Again, to go back to your story of the lady who, had saw your post, or knew she'd be back at church. The lady's been watching 2 years. I mean, again, using the opportunity, the tool for kingdom purposes, I think is great.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this last question. If you could challenge leaders listening to this podcast today, whether they're in Ohio or beyond, when it comes to the practice of discipleship and social media, what would that word of encouragement be?
I think 2 things, just to echo what I just said, is just do it. I think that's part of our challenge in the church with evangelism in general, with discipleship in general, is, we can go to, Start Fresh. We just had it a couple months ago. We can listen to the speakers. We can take all the notes. We can go to all of the conferences that are available. We can read all the books. But at the end of the day, well, all of those things are great and awesome and wonderful. At the end of the day, we still just have to do it, right? That's it. Just has to be done. And at a certain point, you have to decide, I'm just going to do it. And so if that's the same for evangelism, discipleship in general, I would say it's the same with social media, whether it's your personal Facebook page, quit using it to air out your dirty political laundry, quit using it for things that people are just immediately shutting you off over.
Right.
To me, my goal when I post even my personal Facebook page is I want people to immediately see that I've posted and think, oh, what does he have to say? What is this he's sharing? Instead of oh, there's Seth again going off on who knows what, I think there has to be this desire for us to see these resources available to us through social media as means for opening the door for our ones. We're truly praying for our ones. It's been, I've been in part of Church God, part of Togo for 3 years now, and the Pray for Your One focus has been so striking to me. And it's the greatest opportunity we have through social media is to connect with so many ones. You probably get Facebook friend requests from people that you're like, do I know this person? And you look through, I think I recognize this person, but my thing is, that's the greatest opportunity you have, is someone being your Facebook friend and giving them content that is pointing them to Jesus, right? Pointing them to this opportunity of a relationship that they have with Christ. And there's room for theological discord and opinion to happen on Facebook, but I would say constantly being aware of who is seeing what I'm posting, who is watching me that I don't have any idea. I go home to Circleville, and it's a small town. My parents were both in the public school system, and so I was always just known, by people. And so even now, I go home and I'm, run to the grocery store, and somebody sees me that knows me, and it's kind of creepy sometimes how much they know about my life, and it's oh, that's because I have put it out there for them to, to know.
Right, yeah.
But again, it's back to that lady that showed up. This is my church. I've been watching for 2 years. I didn't really even realize she was watching. She hadn't really interacted much on her page. Same with our personal lives. You have no idea who's watching the content that you're posting, who is following you to see what your perspective is on the things happening in our world, or who is completely turned off to even the idea that they would come to church, let alone give their life to Jesus, because of, well, this guy's a pastor and look what he's posting all the time, So I would say all of that to kind of get to the point of just doing it, I think is the primary starting place, but also being completely intentional and allowing everything to be filtered through this funnel of, this is possibly the sole opportunity that someone may have to truly, for the first time, or maybe the only time in their life, to truly see and hear the gospel like
Yeah.
they knew, I think of myself when I was at the Acquire the Fire event. Like I thought I was good at it. I had kind of that guard up. Well, I'm good. I know all this. And it was just this moment. And honestly, I don't even remember what the speaker spoke about. I remember that, I didn't remember any of that. What I recall is this moment of like, oh my gosh, this isn't personal to me.
Yeah.
And I think, we have this ability now to present the greatest story ever told. It's nothing new. It's nothing we created ourselves. It's nothing that we just came up with. It's the ancient truths that have propelled the church forward for all these thousands of years. And we have that opportunity right in the palm of our hand. And so often we're missing that, we're missing the trees for the forest, because we're so consumed with everything else that we could post about and talk about and let people know what we think about, when the true, simple reality in the discipleship journey is just simply inviting people into this relationship that we ourselves are living. It's
great.
It's that we are yet beggars who just have found where the bread is, and we're just inviting the other beggars to come eat the bread with us.
Yeah.
And so using Facebook, using Instagram, using all of the other, I don't know, does MySpace even still exist? If it's out there, let's use it. But let's bring it back, RW. You and me, let's commit. We're going to bring back MySpace. Come on.
I don't remember my login.
For the cause of the Great Commission.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we were told to take the gospel to the ends of the earth. And literally, we have the ends of the earth, like right here on our phones, on our tablets, on our computer. And so use it for the good. Use it for proclaiming the good news to the lost and the broken.
That's good, man. I there's so much in these few moments that we've been together today that I think leaders who are listening could chew on. And friends, I'm telling you, if you need to get on Facebook, start a small account, look at things like Common House's page, Instagram, same way. Again, as Seth said, follow some of those churches and leaders that you trust, so that algorithm begins and people will start to see that on their feeds. That is super, super, super important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Seth, thanks for your words of encouragement, your words of challenge, of insight for social media.
Absolutely.
And again, friends, look on the socials, Facebook, Instagram for Common House. They can help you at least kind of get an idea. There are people around who can resource you too. So please reach out to us and we can do that. So thanks again, Seth.
Sure. Yes. Thank you.
Hey, until the next time we drop an episode of the Koga Podcast, may you be blessed, may you be challenged, and ultimately, may you continue to follow the lead of the Spirit as you pour into people whose lives need Him big time. Blessings, friends.